Okay, everybody, so this is how to make an SVG out of an image in Inkscape. What you're going to do is you're going to go up here to File, you're going to go to Open, and then you're going to choose the image that you've got. I'm just going to go down here and choose just a Hello Kitty image. Make sure the Embed is selected and go ahead and hit OK. Okay, go ahead and click on your image and hold down the Control key and resize your image. What that Control key does is it keeps it all, see? It keeps it the way that it's supposed to look. Now that I've messed that up, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Z, and what it does is it just undoes what I just did. So go ahead and click on your image and then right click and scroll down to Trace Bitmap. Okay, and this little thing is going to pop up right here. What you want to do normally is count how many colors. 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. So you want to select Color, unclick Smooth, click on Remove Background. And sometimes this will work. With a major detailed image, it won't work. But since this is just a simple image, it will. I went ahead and went down to 4. I updated it. Now you'll see here on this one, the nose is gray and her nose is yellow. So go ahead and up it one more time to 5 and go ahead and do update and just keep going until that nose color fills in. 6 is going to be the lowest scans we can, and I'll show you what that means in just a second. Go ahead and click OK. And then once OK becomes clickable again, you can go ahead and just exit out of the screen. Go ahead and click your image and drag it over. And the top image is the one that you're going to use. So go ahead and click this one and just go ahead and select backspace. Just hit backspace right there and it'll delete that. Okay, go ahead and click on your image and right click and go ahead and scroll down right here to ungroup. It's going to ungroup all of those layers. See, we've got all of these layers underneath here. So what you want to do is you want to find the one that looks like this, or the one that closely resembles this, one that's basically like a coloring page. And what you can do is you can go ahead and delete all of these because you won't need them. What you can do is just click and hit backspace on each one, and then just go ahead and click and drag your image back over. Now what you want to do is you want to color in the image the way that you want it. Her nose is yellow, so I'm going to go ahead and click on yellow. I'm going to go over here to this paint bucket. So click the paint bucket and then drag it back over here and just click on her nose. Okay? And then normally Hello Kitty is white, but since you can't really see white on this background, what you can do is you can click a color. Go ahead and hit Control Z because I just messed up. Go ahead and come up here and click your mouse and just click off of it. But for something that's white, so it doesn't blend in with the background, you can go ahead and hit the square tool right here and just click on an image or a color that you won't use. I'm not going to use blue in this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on blue and just click and drag it over your image like this. Now go ahead and come up here to Object and scroll down to lower to bottom. And what that's going to do is it's going to make that square go beneath the Hello Kitty layer. Okay. Now go ahead and click off of that blue. And now the inside of Hello Kitty is blue. What that basically means is Hello Kitty right now is transparent. Everything is transparent besides the yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and click off of this and go ahead and click white. And then go back over here to my paint bucket. And I'm going to click inside her. See, it colors all of that white. Now I'm going to go up here to her ear, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the select tool and see how that second one that I already clicked is already selected. Go ahead and hold down Shift and just click this other color. Now what that does is it selects both that are white, and now you can go up here and click Path and Union. And what that does is it makes everything to where whenever you go to cut it, it'll cut both of those pieces out at once. So that way you can just put your transfer tape or whatever you're using to transfer your image, or if you're cutting it off of cardstock, it'll cut both of those together, and all you got to do is pick them up and move them over. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Z. Now the last thing we have is her bow. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and change this to gray just so you can see that it's still there. Okay, now for her pink bow. I'm going to take this right here. It's the bottom scroll. This scroll bar moves the actual image, and this lower one moves the colors. So I'm going to go all the way over here to pink. And now I'm going to select this pink right here. I'm going to go back over to the paint bucket, and now I'm going to click on the insides of her bow to color that in. Now that I'm done coloring that in, I'm going to go back up here to the selector tool, and you'll see that this one's already selected. But here's the tricky part. It looks like this one is selected too, but it's not. just this bigger one is. Since it's bigger than this one, it's going to look like it is. So you want to make sure that you click on every little thing. So once again, you can go ahead and hold down Shift and click that smaller image. See how it's all together now? All right, I'll go ahead and hold down Shift and click on the last remaining pink ones. And now we're going to go back up here to Path, and we're going to Union again. What that does is it does the same thing as before. It just makes everything so it moves all in one. Now I don't really need this. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Z to move it back. That's something that you could do if you're not sure if you did it right, is you can click off of it and click on just one item and move it, and if it moves as a whole and all of the colors are included, then you did it right. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Z and move it back, and now I've got to fix it. Okay, I don't really need this blue square anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and click Backspace, and it's going to delete that. I'm going to fix this because I'm not happy with where it's placed. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on her whiskers, just because if I were to click up here and try and get this outline, it would move the gray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on her whiskers, and I'm going to move them right over here. And what you can also do, if you have a mouse with a scroll key or a scroll little thing in the middle of it, you can hold down Shift and scroll up to go left and scroll down to go right, and that'll also help you move around. If you don't, that's fine. You can just use your mouse if you're on a laptop. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to click on your outline, and you're going to go up here to Path and scroll down to Break Apart. And what that does is it takes all of the little images that we colored in earlier, and it basically colors it in for us. Now don't click on anything after you do this. Make sure they're still all selected. What you're going to do is you're going to go up here to Path and Union. Now it's all one solid piece. Now I'm clicking and dragging, and it's moving as a whole. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it back over here, and I'm going to place it exactly where I want it. And now so I can see it on a bigger scale, what you can do is you can hit your minus key. It's up here by the 0, and you can just click that and it'll zoom out for you. Now what you want to do is you want to just click and drag over the whole image as a whole, and you want to go up here to Object and you want to group it. What that does is whenever you go to load it into your cutting software, personally I use the Cricut Design Space. Like if I were to load it into Design Space and I hadn't grouped it, it would be all over the place. Her nose may be over here, the gray may be over here, the pink may be up here, and then I'd have to drag everything back. What this does is it keeps it nice together and in a group. Now I want to resize it. I want to make it just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to hold Control again, and you can touch any of these arrows. I just hit Control Z so you can see it. You can click any of these to move it and make them smaller. It doesn't really matter. Oops, I messed up on that one. You can make sure you hold Control down, and if you don't, just go ahead and hit Control Z and it'll move it back to the way it was. If you do it more than once, then just keep hitting Control Z and it'll bring you back to where you want to be. So go ahead and click it and hold down Control and size it to the size that you want. Another thing to remember in Inkspace is anything inside this square will get saved. If your image is hanging off like this, only this half of the image is going to get saved as your SVG. So what you want to do is you just want to center it, and then you want to go up here to File, and then you want to go to Save As. Make sure it's Save As, and I have a lot of Hello Kitty saved, so you just go ahead and name it whatever you want. So I'm just going to put Hello Kitty 32, just random, and then you want to come right here to Save As Type. Go ahead and click on that where it says Inkscape SVG. You want to go up here and you want to save it as a plain SVG. Now that it's like this, you can go ahead and click Save. And what that does is I'm just going to show you. I'm going to go to Pictures. I'm going to scroll down, and we're looking for HK32 right there. It saved it. Okay, well, thanks everybody for watching this, and if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to help. Thanks, bye.